Welcome to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host, Chris and Deepom here. Deepom is live from the West Coast. How's that time difference, man?
I don't know how y'all do this, man. Like, I get it. Like, it's cool. Like, the sun's up for a while, and, like, there's primetime basketball on at, like, 5 p.m., but, whew, your boy's tired.
Yo.
Yo, I'm not built for this. I told you earlier, it's like, I woke up this morning in Arizona at 4 in the morning, and I stared at the walls until my car service came at 7:45. Like, I'm gonna be a zombie. Like, y'all, this is how much we love y'all. I'm here right now. That's it. That's the answer. I'm here.
I'm telling you, you're gonna adjust to it right when your time to go.
That's not funny. Stop saying that. Stop putting that shit on me, because it's exactly what's gonna happen now. I'm like, oh, I feel great. Oh wait, no, I have to go back home. What?
You're gonna wake up at like 11 o'clock on Saturday, going like, son of a bitch.
No, if I wake up at 11 o'clock Saturday, I'd be so happy. I haven't slept in on a Saturday in so damn long.
Valid point. Anyway, we are not here to talk about Deepom's West Coast Adventures.
I will be complaining more this weekend on UD Pod. Just know that. I intend to complain more.
You'll get Deepom's West Coast Adventures on there on the UD Pod. But no, this is not why we are here. We are here to talk episode 2 of season 5 of The Flash, Blocked. Barry and Team Flash track down a meta that is stealing high-tech weapons, only to cross paths with a new foe named Cicada, who is hunting down the very same meta with nefarious intent. Yeah, man, let me just say right now, there's only one thing that's better than Joe West's Black Fatherhood Moments. It's Joe West's Grandfatherhood Moments, because
I like what you did there. That's good.
I'm just saying, this dude, yo.
Yo, I'll tell you what. This episode right here, coupled with the first episode, is basically the John Wick. I'm thinking I'm back.
Listen, man. Listen. So look, man. I'm trying not to get excited.
I'm not. Fuck it. But I'm a Hawks fan. I'm a Georgia Bulldogs fan. I'm a Falcons fan. You enjoy it while you've got it. You party while you can, because the end will come.
Because listen, here's the thing, guys. So far, CW shows, Arrowverse shows, when they get their 5th season. That's where they hit their stride, yo. Because I keep trying to tell you.
I'm excited for Legends' 5th season.
Legends' 5th season is going to turn like Sarah Lance into a fucking god or something like that. She's going to be like a goddess or something.
She'll be the big bad.
Right. She'll be the goddess of war or something.
And now you got to stop her. Good luck. Like, congratulations, Berlanti. We just wrote it for you.
Yeah.
You got this.
Call us. But, no, listen, I love this fucking episode. Like, so far, like you said, these first 2 episodes of The Flash coming back, it's, again, and everybody who listened to us last season, we were, even, it got to the point where even Deepom was like, oh, man, that was an hour. That was an hour. It's like, that was something, and so we were kind of feeling kind of down, like, to the point that I even, like, would look at Deepom and be like, hey, listen, do you want to maybe do, like, The Flash, like, 3 episodes at a time, and we can do The Gifted every week? It's like, I legit had those thoughts, right? It never went anywhere.
My reply was, we have to do it weekly, or I won't watch them on time.
Yes. And
like it was more like strictly a scheduling thing.
Yeah.
The reason why we're doing it weekly. And the thing about it is, I'm really glad we did it weekly.
Yeah, no, I am too, because like you said, these first 2 episodes so far have gotten this. It's the thing what we said in the first episode. Like, they're coming back and tying back in 2 things of season 1, which is again the same thing that Arrow did. They are getting back to the basics of season 1. They're giving us the best versions of these characters, and they're learning lessons that they've made from mistakes they've made in the last 2 seasons, which is, I think, the biggest thing that got me about season 4 was they had a lot of good pieces, just like Arrow season 4 had a lot of good pieces, but they were making some silly mistakes. So the first thing that got me in this episode was they didn't drag out about the line. They didn't drag out about why Nora couldn't go back. Like
they did it off camera.
Yo, we open up with them having the conversation. So now you guys understand. Like, wait, understand. Did they just?
They just self-snitched? What did I miss? I watched the CW app because Arizona, and I rewound it. I was like, I must have dozed. I must have blinked or something. This beginning of the episode. Nope. In media ray, man. They go right into it and they try to and they did the thing that you and I have been talking about for years. Is that this Arrow crew, or excuse me, this Flash crew does not do secrets well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the acting or just how earnestly the characters are written. It's tough for them to be duplicitous and for us to buy it. And so what I've enjoyed this season, I'm never going to focus on what happened, but like something I've enjoyed these first 2 episodes is they've been mining their own history to where they're learning things to make them not duplicitous, but it also makes them curious about like the Caitlin Snow thing. That shouldn't matter to me. But I remember when they introduced her mother, she worked in cryogenics, and her father, like they went through, and I'm not saying, and I'm not giving them enough credit. But maybe I should give them more credit and say this was always the plan. But the seeds were planted. Like they put things in place to make this pay off this way. And by the way, if you still hate Ralph after these 2 episodes, that's a you problem.
Listen, we're getting a little ahead of here, but I have in my notes. Sorry guys, Ralph is. It was the right decision to make Ralph a season regular. Like, and
we do not do pre-show conversations. We don't. We just don't. We talked for a half hour about life before this. Not about this show.
Yeah, right. This is how you use Ralph. It's just they've taken they've done what we were asking for the last 2 seasons, which is taking the complaints. So going back to what we were saying about them kind of taking care of the things right away, it's what it basically does is it makes us, the audience, more they're treating us like we're the mature audience. They're treating us like we know we can figure it out. Like, we don't need to be dragged along with Nora lying and now Barry lying to the rest of the team about Nora staying there. One, at this point, Barry, you should know that telling these kind of lies always gets you caught up in the first place. So just come out and open about it. And it's a stupid thing to lie about. So just come out and say it, right? And that's what we do. We get that together. We get it out of the way. Like you said, they do most of the heavy lifting off screen, and we just come right into it. And they're basically like, so you guys got it? And we're like, wait, got what? Oh, wait, they just told them. Oh, shit. So we don't got to worry about that. And now you can do all the other stuff we got to do with the episode, and it's fine. And I love it. Like I said, I think it's a great way. And the second thing they're doing, and this kind of goes into the Ralph thing we were talking about, the Ralph and Caitlin thing, is and it's something that, again, even though maybe it's the fact that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't on right now, and they finally felt like they can do some of these things, but the idea of you have an ensemble cast. How about having Cisco, Caitlin, and Ralph working on their own little things that don't require them to be around Barry, Iris, and the rest of the team? And then eventually those things can come together. But right now, how about having them do their separate things? So right now, you literally have Ralph and Caitlin. Yes, they're doing the thing with Caitlin's father's death certificate. But majority of this episode is, let's cheer up Cisco. Let's help Cisco get over the heartbreak.
Right.
And it's a nice little fun little side thing that doesn't really, deal with the main thing that Barry's working on, but it's funny. It's enjoyable. It gives the characters something to do, and it explains why they're not there. Because at one point, like, when Cisco's not in, they're like, "Yo, we got to go work on Cisco. So we'll be back. Barry and Nora and Iris, you got to take care of this. We got to go fix Cisco. We're gonna go fix Cisco. We'll be back." And you follow them doing this, and it's fucking hilarious. I think that one of the biggest problems with Ralph last season was, and the biggest turnoff was, the going over the top with him being misogynistic, right? It was just, it was too much. They went too far. I get what they were trying to do, but they went too far with it. So I'm not gonna lie. When he came out and was like, "I know how to fix them. We have my 27 steps of how to get over a heartbreak," I was like, "Oh God, this is gonna be bad."
I thought that too until the first one was like, "Get in the shark cage." I was like,
shark
we good.
Cage diving.
I was like, we good.
So I stopped it and looked at what, like, I think the first 7 or 8 of them were. So this is what was on the paper. It's fucking.
I'm so glad one of us thought about this. It crossed my mind, but again, Arizona.
I had to, because I was just like, shark cage diving is number one. What is the other? So shark cage diving, no paper cuts, which is very, very important. Don't have paper cuts when you go shark cage diving. Second one was positive affirmations that he stole from Yogi. What an asshole. The third one, and they actually bring this up in there: watch beaches and paint your toenails. Pastel colors look best. Guys, what the fuck is this? Like, this is amazing. Rearrange your record collection rearrange your record collection autobiographically. Give your best bud $20 every time you think of your ex. It has in the notes, go to the ATM really fast.
Which seems like a great plan, by the way. I hopefully never have to get over heartbreak again. But if I do, that's the move. Make it cost you money.
Right. This next one was amazing. Attend Corgi Beach Festival. Bring treats. What the hell? This list is amazing. Next one, take a hot air balloon ride in Star City. Hit the gym twice a day. And then there was one that wasn't on the list, but I think they brought it up. Find yourself in Thailand.
Yeah.
Like, and then the last one was like, get over it and realize that you guys were she was never the one.
And that's the one I was like, yo, they've done a lot with this. And that's something I can say about this episode kind of in general, but this subplot as a whole is that they were able to lean on the chemistry of the cast, which is something we said last week, I think, because the A plot's kind of pedestrian.
Mm-hmm.
Block is a stupid name because a stupid villain, whatever. But that's not what this is about. This is about the Flash family. This is about this group. And when they lean into their strengths, which is the interpersonal shit, like the strengths on Arrow, as we'll talk about later, is the fighting. That's the strength.
Yes.
It's the fighting. The strength here has always been the people, the connection. And they found a way. I don't know what happened in the offseason. I don't care. All I know is these first two episodes have made me care about these characters.
Well,
and that's all I can ask for.
And you're also finding the pairings at work. So, like, you know, Cisco works really well with somebody who either annoys him or somebody who bangs up against him. So you don't have Wells right now. We're going to get a Wells eventually, but you don't have a Wells right now. So who's the next person that actually kind of works really well with him? Like all last season, we were pairing up Barry and Ralph, and it just there wasn't. It was okay, but it didn't have the chemistry of when you started pairing towards the back of the season. When you started pairing Cisco and Ralph, you're like, wait a minute, these two are actually kind of amazing. And so, like, what was it? There was something about Cisco was talking about something. I was going to go to Fiji, but you know that was what I was going to do with. And now I can't go about Fiji by myself. And Ralph got like really excited. He was like, "I'm not."
Ralph, the look on Ralph's face and the disappointment. I'm not going to Fiji.
Right. It's like, yo, I'm sorry. Ralph and Cisco together are fucking hilarious. And then you throw Caitlin in as like kind of like the concerned, like, you know, a mom friend who's worried about Cisco. But then you also have that moment again because Cisco and Caitlin also work really well together. So it's like you've now done this thing again, the same thing that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. does, which is take your characters and pair them up with other characters that are good matchings or maybe matchings you didn't think about. And see how they work. And that's what they've done here. And it's like, wow, I actually now care about Cisco. I see Cisco being upset. And it's like, again, who hasn't had a heartbreak, right? And the fact that they're not having Cisco, like, because even when Cisco came to himself, it was like, you know, she wasn't the one. I can't, like, he came to that realization himself as well. And he wasn't like being like that super dude bro, well, she's a bitch. And that's like, it was none of that. It was like a legit heartbreak. People go through this shit. And so you can kind of relate to why Cisco's kind of fucking down. He thought that she was the one. He thought that they were like when he was like, yo, I can't vibe because every time I vibe, I feel her frequency. And it's just like, it's everything is her. I can't like, I can't get her out of my head. It's like, it's part of me. And you're just like, okay, we got to fix Cisco. And
but I like how they use it with the powers, but also a metaphor for breakups.
Yeah, it is. It just is. And so I like that. And then you flip it again with, you know, when Ralph and Cisco, like, okay, first of all, Ralph's stylist styling Cisco, guys.
Touch my hair, I will stab you. Yo, how about Ralph yelling, Han shot second?
Dog, that was the final straw for me. That was the final straw for me. Cisco's out of it. They're trying to get Cisco. Cisco's just like staring into space. And Ralph's like, I got this. Han shot second. And Cisco almost fucking fought him. It's like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, and he was like,
I know what you're doing. It's not going to work.
He's like, no, it's okay, buddy. He's like, I know it doesn't make sense. I had to snap you out of it. It's like they become actual friends. It's you know what it is? It reminds me of what they did with Cisco and was it which Wells was that? Was it HG?
I honestly don't remember.
Whichever one with the stupid one, the really stupid one. And it's like that, but now you started it with Ralph, and Ralph isn't stupid. Like they're also then going over Ralph's detective skills. So when they were at Ralph's agency and they were after the stylist had completely made like Cisco look like, I don't know what the fuck Cisco looked. Cisco looked, I don't, that style was just, no, but it was hilarious.
It wasn't Cisco.
Definitely wasn't Cisco. And I love that when he met with Caitlin afterwards, he still had it on. He's like, I think he burned my clothes, so this is all I have. But like when Ralph and they're like, wait, we don't need your powers. Wait, they're like, why don't you? Because Caitlin was like, why don't you just talk to Joe? She's like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. Like Joe actually is a detective. Why don't we talk to the actual the cop and have him go through this stuff? And then Cisco and then Caitlin got mad because she didn't want to find out. And then they have it like you get that real moment of, okay, just pausing the fun real quick. Caitlin is going through something. Let's find out the real reason why she doesn't want to do this. And like you said, it ties back when they end up vibing. They tie back into her mom signed the death certificate, and now you're like, okay, you know what? And I believe that was from season 3. You know, so it wasn't even last season. That's from season 3, I believe.
It was right out of Flashpoint.
Yeah, and so it's like, oh, we're finally because even you think about it, again, even with that season being kind of a mess, like that was an interesting part with Killer Frost. We're like, okay, what is going on with her mom? Are we going to touch back into that? And the fact that we're now going back to that and touching on that, I'm like, thank you. That actually was an interesting thing with Caitlin. Let's keep that going, and are we doing it with this small team of 3 trying to figure out and solve, you know, 1, cheer up Cisco, but then 2, also solve this mystery of what happened to Killer Frost. That's how you take care of those 3 characters. You now have 3 characters that have a small little thing. It's a detour from the other stuff we're dealing with in the main show, and it's interesting and it's fun. It's just fun.
Can I mix in a potential spoiler, but a prediction?
Go ahead.
Cameron Marquardt is her actual father, as I talked about last week. That's the name of Icicle Jr. in the DC universe, and that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're going to find something like that.
Which means Flashpoint didn't give her powers.
I think that, didn't we, did we already know that, or?
Well, I think we knew it because we saw the flashback of her using her powers as a kid.
Right. Yeah.
But because of between her and Block, what I'm thinking is that, and you and I talked about this before because we thought the Savitar was a good gambit because you repopulated the world with metas without having to have another particle explosion. And then last year they danced around it with the bus metas. This year they're just saying, fuck it, metas happen.
No, they do, yeah.
They're like, fuck it, metas happen. What do you want to do?
Yeah, because they never really explain how Block got her powers. She has powers, okay. And I'm like, that's fine.
We're past the origin story. We're past it.
We don't need that. Like, just have her show up and use her powers. That's fine. So going into the main storyline with Nora and Barry, look, I understand that. Well, no, I don't understand this. Like I've seen some people say that they wanted Nora to be teaching Barry, you know, because she's from the future and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, my thing is this. We've had 4 seasons of somebody else coming from the future some other time to teach Barry. Why do you want a 5th season of that? At this point, 5 seasons in, it's kind of like with Arrow where, like, at this point, you have the seasoned hero. They need to be teaching somebody else their tricks. That's what needs to be happening now. It's like, so to me, this idea of having Barry teaching Nora and basically showing her that's like, and it makes sense, right? Because, you know, going back to the conversation that Joe had with her, you are basically, she's just like you, Barry, were trying to, you know, impress me because I was your hero. You're her hero. Not only you're your hero, but you're her dad. And she's never had anybody, like I'm seeing some people say, well, she should know these things, but how? Her father died. She was never taught this stuff. So, you know, I don't know. I like the idea of Barry, because again, we've had him kind of sort of teaching people, like with Ralph, with Wally, and other things like that, but never really. He's never really had a time where Barry is the one that's knowledgeable, and Barry is the authority on being a speedster or being a hero. Here, you have.
Well, we thought we'd get it last year, but he fumbled so damn much. Right. This feels like that year of Arrow last year of Arrow, where it's like, oh, Ollie's right.
Yeah, no, Barry's right on this. And what happens is now when mistakes are happening, it's not Barry making them. So like when Block first shows up, it's not Barry's fault. It's Nora because she rushed in. But again, she rushed in. She did the same thing that Barry did.
I love that they made that so explicit.
Yeah. It's like, Barry, I was like, because I'm sitting there going, I'm like, okay, as she's doing things, I'm like, oh, Barry, you should do this. Barry, you should do this. And then when when he goes back and he has a conversation with Joe, and Joe just sitting on the couch, like almost like trying to beat back a smile, because he's like, you did this. And I even like the fact that Joe went back to when he was a kid, not going like, Barry, I had the same conversation with you when you were the Flash, when you revealed you were the Flash. Like I told you the same thing, but he went back to what you did when you were.
Can we have a quick conversation about Jesse Martin?
Go ahead.
Is he okay?
Like this man.
No. This is not me talking about the acting anymore.
Oh, what?
So we're two episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
He sounded like maybe this is a bad head cold or something, because he sounded off. And we have yet to have a scene this season where he's not standing, leaning against something, or sitting. I don't think he stood the entire episode. There's one scene where he's walking from behind, but that could be a stunt double.
You're right.
I'm like, yo, why is Jesse Williams standing? I'm just like, this is just me out of sheer concern. Like, I was like, wait a second, because like he hasn't stood up.
You're right. He was sitting down the entire time.
He sits like in like the first episode was great comedic timing because they found his fucking lounge, which is amazing.
God damn it! You're making me worried because he wasn't at San Diego either.
See, like I'm not trying to make anyone worried. I'm just telling you what I see.
Oh, man, I'm just telling you. Listen, this man, seated or standing, secret or not, he acting his ass off, and it's fucking almost.
Is he though, or is he just channeling his own internal black father? Is he a grandfather in real life? What is happening? He's so good at this. Yo, when he talked down his wife from not being able to read their baby's brain,
bruh.
I was like, yo, what?
Bruh. He got a twofer with Barry. Because as he's telling Barry, basically that Nora's you, Cecile's on the other side of the wall hearing Joe talk to Barry, and it basically applies to her as well. So all she can do is come into the room and just kiss him on the forehead and say, thank you, I needed that. Like, it's just like, he got a black, so we got a Black Fatherhood moment, we got a Black Grandfather moment, then we got a Black husband moment. Like, we got a triple crown, yo. We got a hat trick. My man got a Black hat trick, yo. This is fucking ridiculous. I just He even gets the extra points for when Cecile told him she doesn't have her powers anymore. He didn't even crack a smile.
Yo, that was some stone face. Because if how do I put this? If my wife walked in the house and was like, well, my friends canceled X, Y, and Z today, I would be cheesing like an idiot. Because I have no poker face. Apparently, I need to go to Jesse L. Martin plan, who can be like, baby, I can't read your mind anymore. And him be like, I'm so sorry for your loss. And like, I felt that. I was like, oh, he might mean that shit.
Just like, I was like, yo, we need to give classes, yo. We need the Jesse L. Martin classes on how to be a black husband, black father, black grandfather, whatever you need, whatever blackness you need, Jesse L. Martin's got you for. It's just like, sign me up for that shit, because I'm in. And but no, I think it's interesting seeing that and seeing just how he's basically, well, again, going back to where this show has changed, they've come back to giving Jesse L. Martin being the foundation of the team. Because if you look at it now, he's now back to being the foundation of everybody, right? He's being a foundation for his wife and Cecile and their new baby. He's being a foundation for Barry and Nora and stuff like that. And also we forgot he did get a pure Black Fatherhood moment when he talked to Iris and basically told Iris, it's like, hey, listen, you gotta keep yourself busy. You know, she'll come around eventually. At this point, you got to keep yourself busy, and kind of talked her down from worrying and stuff like that. And basically got Iris back to being an investigative journalist, which I would also say investigative blogger.
Hey, I'm glad that someone reads the blog.
You know what though? I appreciate that. When the dude was like, "Yeah, I read your blog," I'm like, "Huh." What do you?
And then he goes, "It's good." I was like, "All right."
I was like, "Okay."
I was very nervous enough.
Not bad. Yeah, I was because the dude, my this is one thing in this episode. My dude would kind of, and granted he was kind of fucked up, but he was very ominous. And I was waiting for him to say some. he was very, very reasonable. Like for a guy who was like in traction.
For a guy in a neck brace who's been concussed, he was way more calm than I would have been in either situation. Like, that's why you ask me questions for. Can you see my neck? Get him out. Who let you in here?
Right.
Who? I have a visitors list. There are hours. This is a hospital, bitch. How did you get in here?
Yeah, so I'm just like, I was waiting for the shit
You
to
got
drop.
no visitors pass?
And then he slowly turned around and talked to her and then slowly turned back around. I was like,
Michael Keaton Batman.
Okay. All right. That's what we're doing. All right. But no, I mean, but even then, you had Iris showing up at the. Again, they're letting people on the show because everybody, and that's the thing we always say, right? When it comes to pure acting ability, I think The Flash has like the best cast, and so they're letting them have their own storyline. So what you do with Iris here is you let her go out there and kind of work her own threads investigatively. So she was able to go and she talked to Captain Singh. She got him off the record to talk about, what happened to the thing. She goes and talked to with Gridlock being killed. She goes and talks to the guard, the correction officer who got hurt. She goes, ask Barry, can I use your lab? And when she said, can I use your lab? I thought she was talking about the lab in Star Labs. When she showed up at the CCPD, I was like, wait, what? Wait, who let you in? Like, they don't have locks? They just let a reporter, a blogger into whatever. I'm not going to ask questions. But she went in there. She found the body cam footage. I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to have that, but whatever. All right. And then so at the end of the day, when they all find out that Cicada was there, she was able to kind of break down and goes, oh no, this is the same guy who did this, and this. She put it all together for them outside of the Star Labs. And again, it goes back to the idea, and we said this last week, I think, them not having the Star Labs satellites is actually helping. It's actually making the show better because they have to go back to their basics. Before,
apparently the basics is Iris being a fucking reporter because she's the only one who tracked down Cicada.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like by not having, because again, when you had the Star Labs, when you had the satellites, while it took away the need for anybody to do anything. Right, nobody needed to do any actual work because it's basically like run a program, we'll do this, we'll do that. Even if you think about it, even outside of Iris, with the way of them finding out Block, which was, oh, well, we'll using science, right? It's like, oh, we're going to calculate, the pressure that's caused by when in the atmosphere by when Block uses her powers. It's like they're now forced to actually go out there and try different things. And
Chris, do you mean that maybe including a detective in the cast last season and having the most advanced facial recognition software on the planet somehow invalidated the use of the detective?
Kinda, maybe. Amazing. The last gift of the thinker was actually making the show better by destroying their satellites.
You'll forget this entire season happened. You're right.
But again, it's like by doing that, you now give everybody a thing to do, right. and it works. And also it also kind of goes back to, again, we're basically getting season 1 again. And again, same thing that happened with Arrow, season 5, where where the student now becomes a master. You're now having Barry basically teaching Nora the kind of the same thing. It's like, well, no, you run really fast, but you can't just run in. You got to use science. You got to use this. We got to think about this. The idea of making her a CSI too is like she's their CSI intern. So now. Again, I like how all this is going on and how all this is working together because it allows everybody to kind of have their own role, and I think it's working together. And I think we brought this up last week that we were kind of worried about who the bad guy, Cicada. We were like, oh, we got to go. He has my attention.
Oh, undoubtedly, because yeah, you're just ripping people's powers away, and not in a thinker like, I've got your soul now, but more like I just negated your shit. And I love the fact that these motherfuckers cannot fight without their powers.
I literally have in my notes, I see Barrett did not keep it with Oliver's training. You should have kept it with Oliver.
And, the thing is, we can say he should have, but at the same time, Barry's like, I break time barriers, bitch. Right. I'm good.
I'm the fastest man alive.
And if he wants, if he said that to me, like, you're not wrong.
I'm not going to lie, when Barry rolled up to try to fight without his powers, I was like, Barry, that's not gonna go well. And he took that
like,
wild.
Barry, you're a nerd.
Yo, he took that wild ass punch, and I was like, not good, not good at all, not good at all.
I don't know if Grant Gustin can fight, but he sure plays a nigga who can't fight real well.
I'll tell you one thing. I can say this now because you've watched this episode, and we're reviewing this on the weekend. He needs to go to whatever school Renee learned how to fight in the last 6 months.
I'm not speaking about that motherfucker who's lucky to be alive.
Listen,
Motherfucker only draws breath because Oliver Queen's nicer than me.
Well, I believe that's why he's speaking the truth of the Church of Oliver Queen right now is because he had his soul kicked out of him. So,
all right, we're talking about the show of the weekend, but when that criminal was like, "Ain't you the motherfucker who ratted out Oliver Queen?" Like, woo! Everybody knows you're a snitch.
I was like,
nobody. It's like Conor McGregor coming at Khabib, saying that his friend saying that his trainer was one of the ones who tried to stop 9/11 by turning on his people. Even if it's against 9/11, nobody likes a snitch.
Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. Yo, he said that shit, and I was like, "Well, Renee, you kind of got to die now because it's like he's."
I was like, well, if everyone knows you a snitch, like, what are we doing here?
I mean, he's not wrong, Renee. I mean, you kind of are.
Let's move on to the Flash.
But yes.
Know that this is a podcast where I will be telling you Renee needs to die every episode of the Flash. Or Arrow, excuse me.
Yes.
Renee's continued drawing a breath. If he dies in a sacrificial manner, I will say, good fucking riddance. He can save Ollie and Felicity and everybody. PK and Felicity. He can save the world. I'll be like, too late, buddy.
You still deserve
you snitch. Anyway.
But yes. But no, like my man got me interested because we first saw him. He's working. I guess I don't know where he's working at. Who knows what he's doing? He's like a blue collar. He really is a blue collar worker. And then he puts on that suit and gets that fucking lightning bolt that steals fucking powers, and he's fucking terrifying. And the only thing that stopped him was when Nora showed up and said "Dad." So he apparently has some kind of issue with family and things like that, which again kind of goes into we're already seeing with this season. This season's about family. Which every season about the Flash is about family, but this one definitely is coming in really hot and heavy with the family aspect of it. Because even with Caitlin going on, she's going to be dealing with her family, with her mom and her dad, and with the two of her powers. So everybody's going to be dealing with family this season, and I am here for it. And this motherfucker, has a sound like cicadas, and he is fucking terrifying. And you got me. Like, how do you have a guy who just has a lightning bolt? How does he take on fucking the fastest man alive? Oh, you zap his powers. Oh, okay.
It's a pretty good answer. It's a pretty good answer.
You got me. And here's the thing: they brought him in kind of again with everything going on. Brought him in kind of early. Again, taking from what I call the Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. playbook, which is we don't waste time. We're not wasting time right now. We're not wasting time, which I am very, very happy for. And let's do it.
Can I talk about the elephant or the Gorilla Grodd in the room?
Let's talk about it.
So I don't know if you have the same big thing in the room with me. So they're doing Nora the way they should have done Wally.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the character introduction. Like Wally's introduction was tied to a lot of like interfamilial angst. And it was also tied too intimately, I think, with the Savitar thing. And you never really got the excitement, the happiness of being the Flash, like of reveling in these powers. And Nora gives us that. She's got that like earnest but excited, like almost cluelessness. Who's just like, I'm here. Everything's exciting. This is great. It's all crazy. And you kind of get that sense of wonder that Barry had in season 1 that either through a factor of writing or a factor of ability, Wally never brought. You
know what it is? Because I've been thinking about this too. Because we kind of said the same thing about, Ralph with Wally last season. And I'm going to be honest, I know what it is. They brought Wally in too soon. Like they rushed.
The show wasn't ready.
Because it wasn't. Think about it. You can have a kid Flash if Barry isn't the Flash. Like, I'm thinking this other day. Have you watched Titans yet?
I have not.
Okay. So anyway, but I was thinking about this.
Spoil away, my good friend. I have no intention of really enjoying it.
Well, it's not even about spoilers. Somebody else brought this up in the group, and they were talking about Titans. I was just talking about how fuck, they got Dick Grayson over here like literally maiming motherfuckers, and because they're trying to be dark and gritty. But then again, just not even just from Monday's episode, but you go back and look at the Arrow, and I'm like, Arrow's been dark and gritty, right? Like Oliver Queen literally snaps a man's neck in the first episode, talking about something you cannot know my secret. But I'm like, and I'm like, they've done that, and while they have kind of lightened it up a little bit, well, not right now with Ollie because he's going through some shit. But what they did with Oliver Queen, and that is, even in that first season, he wasn't the Green Arrow. He hasn't been the Green Arrow since I think it started end of season 5 when he finally became the Green Arrow. Started calling himself the Green Arrow. He was the vigilante. He was the Hood. He was the vigilante. He was the Arrow. And then finally he became Green Arrow. And when he finally became Green Arrow, that's when in season 5, that's when you get the group and the team, and you start feeling like Oliver actually is the elder statesman who can actually hold on to having a team and partners and things like that.
Right.
I think the same thing should have happened with the Flash. Like,
it's almost how they used Roy too early.
Exactly. Same thing with Roy. Roy was used.
It's a really good point. It's nice.
They used it too early. So you cannot bring a sidekick in. Like, think about when we've done Batman character corners, right? We just did Robin, right? Dick Grayson comes in when you look at the modern tellings of the story. Dick Grayson comes in year 3 of Batman. Batman has been Batman for a while. And if you think about it, that in the season that we've done, you should have gotten the years of just trying to be the Red Streak or whatever. Then you become the Flash. Then you become ready for bringing those other characters in, because you can't have a sidekick if you're not ready. If you're trying to figure things out yourself, how can you teach somebody else, right? I mean, and you're always learning and stuff like that. But if you're like trying to find the basics out, and so it was really, really hard when you bring in Wally. One, especially when he's in the same time and he's not Kid Flash. Like with Nora, she feels like she's so green because even though they're around the same ages, and the actress actually is older than both her parents on the show, she feels like she's younger. She seems to be younger. Like you said,
she carries herself younger.
She carries herself younger. She presents herself younger. Like, they never wrote Wally to be.
Wally went to college in the conversations.
Right.
I do my laundry. I go to college.
Yeah, Kid Flash isn't in college. Like, not like at that point. So it's like, so I think that's what happened with Wally. And unfortunately, because again, we are Wally West marks. Unfortunately, they just blew their load. And maybe at some point, but this is also why I think Wally worked so well in that Legends season. Because when you bring Wally into that Legends season, what did you get? You got Wally, who was just happy to be there, right? Who rushed in, used his speed. He wasn't,
keyword happy.
Right. He was happy. He wasn't a leader. He would rush into things and had to be told how things worked and how time. Like he was still like amazed to be there. Even in this season, when you hear in that first episode, when you hear Wally talking about what he was like, yeah, I like fought an Abe Lincoln clone, or it was something, I can't remember what it was, but it was something fucking ridiculous. And Joe was just like, you what? And he was just like, yeah, it was kind of weird. It was fun. Like you get that feeling of that. We just didn't get that early on, because again, even when he got his powers, it was, he was then put in the place of he had to stop Savitar. So he got his power and he was immediately put in the thing of, okay, cool, you just got your powers, you need to save your sister from dying. What? Excuse me?
It was so much weight. You're 100% right. I hadn't thought about that.
And so I think that's what happened. And I think, again, it's unfortunate, but I think that's why I see it happening with, and I think one of the other reasons, one, just the characterization of Ralph sometime last season, but also he wasn't a speedster. And so it's like, so now we're getting a speedster. We're actually feeling like you're getting that young speedster, and you're getting Barry being the elder statesman. You're basically getting him being the Jay Garrett, and telling him, telling Nora how to do these things, how to go with the Speed Force, and how to do it. And it worked when he gets trapped, and she has to be the one to save him, and kind of use his lessons and go and figure out, okay, she's Block's getting tired, she's getting winded. Let me tire her out, and then I can stop her and save the Flash, save my dad, and we go from there. And like I said, I think that's what worked. Like Wally just never got that opportunity.
He never got the chance.
Like you say, never got the chance. So
also, just before you're out of here, Human Meat Cube is disgusting. That's gross.
Yeah. yeah. It just, But yeah, man. 2 for 2, yo, so far. I'm loving it so far. This is great. I love all the characters. I'm loving Ralph. I want more Ralph. Not more Ralph, but I'll like keep this.
I want Sue, and this is partially because I just read Goddamn Identity Crisis, and those two are adorable.
Oh God!
But I want Sue. Like her leaving the I'm sorry, this is a quick dissertation. Not a lot of people love Identity Crisis, and I think that at the time I was a little harder on it because it was like a very much a mature storytelling about something I care about a lot. I think in retrospect, I like it a lot more, particularly when you tie it into the Tim Drake character corner we just put up, available on Spotify. But hearing the fact that every year she plans a mystery for him for his birthday, and every year he figures it out. Like it's the little wrinkles like that. That like that's people are like, this is the Ralph I thought we were gonna get. Like this is the Ralph I was telling people. Hold on. We don't get there, and we're here.
Detective Ralph is working out again. He does things. Obviously, he comes back in and is like, "Hey, I think I figured it out. We need Cisco. I need you to vibe it." And he's like, "Cisco's down right now. Cisco's not here." It's like, "Well, tell Cisco to leave. I'm leaving Cisco a message."
He leaves the voicemail to Cisco.
It's like, I'm sorry, but again, that like I said, that's the Ralph we're looking for, right? That's the Ralph That's the. All right, cool. Let's do this. Let's go. I'm in. I'm in now. So, yeah, there you guys have it. That is the That is their review for The Flash, episode 2, season 5. Doing pretty good, guys. Let's keep this. Let's keep the same energy. Let's keep this going. All right. So things to announce. We will be doing Arrow this weekend, and then next week we'll have. So the schedule again. Arrow will come out on Sunday. Before it airs on Monday. Monday. Legends comes back, so that means on next Wednesday we'll be reviewing both Flash and Legend of Tomorrow, and then what was it what was I going to say? The following week mailbag. So mailbag at mtrnetwork.net to make sure you guys can get your questions into us for anything like that. And I think what we're going to start doing is we'll start taking any feedback for these shows that we're reviewing each week. I'll do it for the MTR Network group and even on Instagram. Start following us on Instagram, MTR Network. I'm putting more stuff out on the Instagram. I'll start putting the images for the show up, and you guys can leave your comments in the Instagram comments, and then we'll do from there. Yeah, I think that's it. We're about to be full strength, full speed ahead, and it's gonna be fun. So. Make sure you guys subscribe to us. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, subscribe to us on Stitcher Radio. Wherever you subscribe, leave us a 5-star review on Super Tuesday Recap. It's very, very important you subscribe to the Super Tuesday Recap feed, not to MTR Networks. So go to the Super Tuesday Recap, put it into whatever you're listening to your podcast in, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. Listen to it there. That way you make sure you don't missing an episode because, again, we also reviewed the first 3 episodes of The Gifted, and that is only on the Super Tuesday Recap feed. So make sure you subscribe there. And also our shirts are in the show notes on TeePublic. Go to tpublic.com/stores/MTR-network. Check that out. And if you're a premium member, I know we haven't done a premium episodes yet. We got plenty of premium stuff coming out. We're recording some stuff this weekend. Shanti and I also have some stuff we're planning for Halloween. We're going to try to get that stuff out as well. Just stay tuned. It's been a hectic month, so just to stay with me. Promise you, we're gonna get the stuff out there, and we'll be back soon. So again, thank you guys very much for listening, and DTPOM will be back on East Coast time in no time soon. So thank you guys very much, and until next time, we're out of here. Peace.